reconciliation bill. Not the $1.9 trillion stimulus package, but the tow truck has passed over the finish line. About 5 minutes before this recording went live, Congress passed the reconciliation bill, which anchors your $1.9 trillion stimulus package over the finish line. Next up, the vote on that, as promised on this channel. The Dow is up relatively flat, about 54 points, with about an hour left in the trading day. The Nasdaq's up about 61 points. And the rest of Wall Street still jittery about a very, very poor new jobs number. This is a job creation number released right before sunrise this morning. All those details and more coming up in your big update on Home LA, direct from Wall Street. From Wall Street to Main Street, from my home to your home, this is LLA, the most comprehensive financial news channel there is, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and the most interactive. In this recording, I'm going to be going over the breaking developments from minutes ago, the call for the vote, and the finality. It's finalized. What does this mean for the next 2 weeks? I'll be explaining the call for the vote. Hey, Dolores, thank you for becoming a Purple Hawk. I'm going to go over the detail about what's going on over the next 2 weeks to get the budget bill, $1.9 trillion stimulus package bill, finalized, and how soon you can get your checks as well. Everyone, welcome Dolores to the family. Then I'll be going over Biden's procedural plan to get stimulus into your hands as quickly as possible, and the issue about chatting with other sides. I know a lot of confusion has stemmed from that in the last few days. Then I'll be going to those job numbers. Really shocking job numbers and the impact of it on stimulus. But what does it mean about more hours of available work? That was promising news. Then a massive hole. Concerns that there's a massive hole in this economy that the stimulus needs to fix sooner than later. Then calls for concern that the current economy could be in a worse situation since the Great Depression. And the concern is that this economy may rebound, but those recession numbers are no bueno. Then, Joe Biden's press conference. Earlier today, Joe Biden had a press conference. I have his remarks as well. And finally, reaction. I have Joe Biden's chief economic advisor, Jared Bernstein, who you hear me talk about a lot on this channel, reacting to negative statements from the other side and why they are not economically in touch with what's going on. Then I'll be turning to some of your 2,000 great comments from yesterday's recording. If you have questions or comments in today's recording, drop them in the comments below, and I might feature them in tomorrow's recording. But first, if you've not subscribed, please subscribe. This is the best darn channel out there. The most comprehensive, the most complete, the most in-depth, and the most interactive. And also like this video. And if you've not become a member, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Casino VIP. The link to become a member is in the pinned comment at the top of the chat and also in the description. A lot of breaking news. Lots of breaking news. And with that, let's get to the breaking news right off the bat from Congress. Minutes ago, Congress passed a budget resolution. That tow truck passed over the finish line, and we are ready to rock and roll. Congress has passed the reconciliation bill within the last 5 minutes. This means that the $1.9 trillion stimulus package, which is anchored to it on the tow hitch behind the tow truck, is a finality, and it will be called for a vote within the next few days. VP Kamala Harris cast the tie-breaking vote. It literally was a partisan vote down the line. Second, let's go all over to what's happening in the next 2 weeks. In about 2 weeks, the $1.9 trillion stimulus package bill will be finalized. It's finalized now. What's important to understand is it's finalized now. It is going to happen. I've been detailing this almost every recording for the last week. It's not a question of will or can or would. The issue is what day. We now have clarity that the bill will be finalized within about 2 weeks. On Monday, we will begin working on the specifics of the bill. Pelosi said in a news statement minutes ago. And I am thankful for our caucus staying together in unity, said leader Chuck Schumer. We had no choice given the problems facing America and the desires to move forward, and we have moved forward. The Senate and House made that vote today with not a single Republican vote, and it will likely not change going forward. The call for a vote on the $1.9 trillion stimulus package to be done in about 2 weeks or less, says Nancy and Chuck today. Second, let's go to Biden's procedural plan for stimulus. The new statement says Joe Biden is not willing to go as far as I think we will. Excuse me, I misquoted that. Joe Biden responded to criticisms from the Republicans today saying they're not willing to go as far as I think we have to go. And while Joe Biden said he'll talk about certain things with the other side, he is not, quote, there's a direct quote, I am not cutting the size of the checks, end quote. So what is he only willing to listen to? Maybe the checks on the very high end of rich people. One thing you don't hear me talk about very much on this channel, because it's really not much of an issue, is that I always say the stimulus checks are $73,000 or less 2019 earnings. But I never talk about what if you make more than $73,000? What if you made $100,000? There's still some people who get stimulus checks if they made $100,000 or $110,000. That's never been a topic of discussion. Hey, Sharia. That was Shara. I never talk about the people on the super high end that still get a stimulus check. That is the only thing that Joe Biden will talk about. Margie, thank you for the cat. So that is the only thing that he'll even talk about are the rich people getting a stimulus check. Everyone in the middle class, everyone in the low income class, you're getting a stimulus check the same way as we always said. $1,400 an individual, $2,800 a married couple, $1,400 a child, $3,200 adult dependent. It's a finale. It's happening. We're done. FPUC going forward at $400 a week with a retroactiveness to January. That's going on top of your second stimulus payments. Second stimulus started in early January approximately. So he's going to take you back a few weeks to January and then bring you forward to September at $400 a week. That amounts to about $16,000 to September if you unfortunately do remain unemployed for 40-something weeks there. And that's on top of your UI and PUA, which could amount to about $300, $400 a week if you do enhanced benefits for this channel. And that means you could see somewhere between $25,000 to $35,000 in unemployment benefits between now and September if you are unfortunately still unemployed. Let's turn to the jobs numbers. Wow. You heard me detail them this morning on Early Mornings LA. You heard me detail them last night. And I detailed you the predictions or the estimates or the anticipation of where they thought the numbers were going to lie and land. Lord, they did not come anywhere close. They were substantially lower than even the lowest end of the estimates. This is numbers of new jobs created, not new jobless claims. This is a once a month number that comes out that details the month before. In regards to January, the numbers were horrible. 49,000 jobs were created in the United States in the month of January. That is it. NatWest markets were expecting to see 300,000 new jobs. Citigroup was expecting 250,000 new jobs. The total number of jobs created in the United States in the month of January, 49,000. What's the reaction? Marvin Lowe, senior global macro strategist. The job market remains in the clutches of the pandemic, and until we get broad vaccination, we're not going to stabilize the job market. It was a really poor number. It shows the lockdowns that started at the end of the year had a bigger impact than thought. But there was some good news in the numbers. The good news in the numbers showed that people had more hours to work, and it also showed that we need more stimulus. Peter Bukov, the chief investment officer at Bleakley Global Advisors, in a memo obtained by LA this afternoon, says the positive in the jobs numbers is you show that people had more hours to work. People were given more hours to work. People were working longer for those jobs. That added to north of 7% over the worker. This suggests that firms were unable to get new workers in the door, but were able to give longer hours to existing workers. So that's some promising news. Not newer jobs, but more hours to existing workers. Stimulus, meantime, remains the big issue. The report continues to signal we need that stimulus. This is a quote from Lowe. And that its reconciliation versus bipartisan support is a kind of front and center on this discussion. But the jobs report signaled a lot of other concerns. One, a concern that there's a massive hole, about 10 million fewer jobs than March of 2020. and concerns that we are currently in the worst situation since the Great Recession. The jobs report shows that the long-term unemployment, which concerns 6 months, shows that we're in the worst situation since the Great Recession. Almost 40% of jobless workers are now long-time unemployed, says a Labor Department statement obtained by LA this afternoon. And then it shows that there's 10 million fewer jobs than before the pandemic hit. It would normally take about 29 years to get back to normal, but they think that we could rebound faster. And then came the really good news from Joe Biden. I have all his details coming up in just a second, but with 10 minutes on the clock, with 1,400 people in the room, thank you for joining me on Home LA, your midday lighthearted report on stimulus and from Wall Street to Main Street. I'm so excited you're here. But let's get those likes up. Come on, let's do it. 490 likes and 1,500 in the room. Let's see if we can get to 2,000 in the room and 1,000 likes. Use that like button. You know, overnight you heard a lot of great news on this channel, and I want to detail some of that great news if you missed it. $1,000 stimulus check for children? Yes. A $50,000 student loan debt forgiveness? Yes. Where did all this deliciousness come from? I have the details coming up for you shortly. Along with Joe Biden's incredible statement, I have more about the third stimulus package as well. But first, make sure you subscribe to this channel. From Wall Street to Main Street, from my home to your home, the most comprehensive news there is. Thank you, Scott, with the dancing pear. If you're at home and you see that dancing pear, get up and dance with me. Let's go. Let's dance. Also, like this video. 600 likes and 1,600 in the room. Let's go to for 2,000 and 1,000. 2,000 in the room and 1,000 likes. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP. Over the next few days, you're going to need to be prepared to pounce as a Purple Hawk. Oh, because there's going to be a lot of items in the third stimulus package that you qualify for. Every viewer in this channel that I am aware of qualifies for about 4 items of the third stimulus package at least. Most viewers qualify for 5 or 6 items. Some qualify for a lot more. So you need to be ready to pounce. Donuts are not allowed. This is the vegetarian room. This is the low-carb room today, so no donuts. You can have some Melba toast, but that's all about it. Thank you, Jeffrey, for becoming a Purple Hawk. Welcome to the room. The big news overnight was that baby bond bill. Hey, Stephanie, for the dancing pear. There's a dancing pear. Everyone get up and dance because Stephanie just gave us a dancing pear. The big news overnight is that your child, not the child that's, the husband on the sofa, a newborn child could get a $1,000 stimulus check. What's going on? Well, Cory Booker introduced yesterday with overwhelming Democratic support, including Chuck Schumer, Elizabeth Warren, and Bernie Sanders, his 2020 bill he reintroduced. It's the Booker baby bond bill. The Booker Baby Bond Bill is being birthed again, and it's on board, so get ready for the Booker Baby Bond Bill. How do you say so fast? I don't know. $1,000 per baby. What? So the federal government will set up a savings account for that newborn baby, and when the baby is born of any age, wow, Shelly, thank you for the amazing super chat. That is a big one. Thank you for the huge, Shelly Murphy, for the huge super chat. If you have a baby born, the federal government will set up a $1,000 bank account with in the child's name, not in your name. I know you'd love it in your name, but it's in the child's name. And it would stay there. The child could not withdraw from it until they're age 18. And that at age 18, based upon what Booker's estimated at 3% interest rate over 18 years, it'll be worth $50,000. Oh my goodness. You can also donate you can also fund into it so that you can give your child more money and that child matriculates at about $50,000 at age 18. This is huge. It's going to become law. There's enough support for it. So add this to your list of things that's going to become law. And yes, my disclaimer to viewers last night, do not go get pregnant based upon the hope the bill becomes law. I got pregnant. When am I getting that bill? Wait a second. I told you it's not law yet. So please don't get busy until the bill gets busy. Okay? Thank you. Let's now turn to the other one. Student loan debt forgiveness of $50,000. Yes, that's becoming law as well. Elizabeth Warren, Chuck Schumer, and Miss Presley went to the White House yesterday, either telephonically or in person, and additionally reintroduced a bill to the congressional floor for $50,000 of student loan debt forgiveness. Everyone welcome Tiffany to the room. $50,000 of student loan debt forgiveness. This is absolutely incredible. So why is it in two places? Because they're trying to angle it two ways. It's going to happen. This is law. There's again another 14. Actually, I think this one had 48 congressional leaders in favor of it, co-signing it. This is going to happen. So $50,000 student loan debt, federal debt. I don't care if you've had the student debt for 20 years or 30 years. It's happening. You're going to get $50,000 of student loan debt forgiven. Really incredible. 2,000 people in the room and 800 likes. Let's get it up. Let's get to 2,000 in the room and 1,000 likes. Welcome, Tiffany, for becoming part of this family. If you've not become a Purple Hawk, consider doing so. Pin comment bottom of the chat also as well is the link. $1,400 stimulus check, $2,800 married couple, $1,400 for children, and $3,200 for adult dependents is going to be coming to you. If you are a person on benefits, you'll get the same check as well, but depending on your circumstances. The big update at the 16-minute mark is that minutes ago, Congress finally drove the tow truck over the finish line. I've been going over this metaphor with you for a few days. There's a tow truck that is the reconciliation, and there's a tow hitch, which is the $1.9 trillion stimulus package. The tow truck has now finally passed over the finish line. It's law. It was passed today as law. So the tow hitch is now going to be pulled over the finish line. It's going to take approximately less than 2 weeks, says Nancy Pelosi. So you should be penciling in your date to pounce, your pounce date as a Purple Hawk in about less than 2 weeks from now. So you need to be watching these videos. You need to be informed about all the provisions that apply to you. You need to have your paperwork ready. And hey, Sonia, how are you? Thank you for the dancing bear. And you need to be ready to pounce because the day it goes live, it's first come, first serve. It's literally first come, first serve. There will not be enough money for everyone, with the exception of stimulus check, of course. And it is going to be first come, first serve, and you need to be the most informed and the most ready to pounce as a Purple Hawk. Let's turn to Joe Biden's press conference. Joe Biden had a press conference earlier today, and he talked about the jobs number, and he also thanked Congress for passing the reconciliation. This is Joe Biden talking. We saw the jobs report. Only 6,000 private sector jobs were created. At that rate, it's going to take 10 years before we get back to full unemployment. That's not hyperbole. Wow. So you just heard me talk a few minutes ago about 40,000 new jobs created. Joe's basically saying only 6,000 of them were private employers. The rest were federal. So that is really quite horrible. Only 6,000 new jobs in the month of January for private jobs. I appreciate you all coming over because the urgency with which you're moving. This is about people's lives. This is not about numbers. America's really hurting, and we have to do something consequential here. I'd like to be doing with the support of Republicans, but that's just not willing to go as far as I think we have to go. It's my preference to work together, but if I have to choose between getting help right now to Americans who are hurting so badly and getting bogged down in lengthy negotiations or compromising on a bill that's up for the crisis, it's an easy choice. I'm already going to help the American people hurting out. There you go. I told you, this is the new Joe Biden. I told you Joe Biden February is different than Joe Biden December or Joe Biden January. I told you that Joe Biden is not going to wait around for anyone, and he's going to keep on doing bills, whether it's the baby bill, or it's the student loan debt forgiveness, or it's the benefits bill, or it's the teachers bill, or it's the highways. He's going to do one after another after another. You're going to see a lot of bills very quickly. Hey, Patricia. What's he doing? Rent. I didn't get what that was. It's a hippopotamus saying wrecked, sort of like my hair right now. Is that so shady about my hair? Yeah, it keeps on going its own direction. It's my preference to work together. We're moving forward. I know some in Congress think we already done enough to deal with the crisis of the country. Other things that we're getting better. We can't afford to sit back and do little or do nothing at all. And then came more reaction minutes ago, and that reaction was from Bernstein, Biden's chief economist, and he said that I'm tired of this fake narrative from the other side. I love this. Uh, there's a growing chorus of top economists who say we should be less focused on the deficit and more on investments. Jared Bernstein this morning slammed Larry Summers. I think he's wrong in a pretty found way about the claim in the following sense, in that way that Larry's offering a warning that we've already heeded. I very much disagree with the argument. We have consistently said the risk of going too small on stimulus is much greater than the risk of going too much on stimulus. Now, that doesn't mean there's no risk engaged in that kind of work, but it's always the case in the economy. Right now, we have inflation below the Fed's target rate of 2% for well over a decade. What is he talking about? It's very important to understand what he's referring to. Mitch McConnell and the Republicans in 2020 said, we don't want deficit spending. The deficit's going to hurt. We'll never pay down the deficit. Bernstein says well, if you don't spend money, you're going to have a recession. If you spend too much money, the Republicans say, oh, you're going to have inflation. Not going to happen. He said the risk of inflation is better than the risk of recession. Thank you, Carmen, for the dime lemon. I love dime lemon. Thank you, Carmen, for the dime lemon. So here we are. Incredible, great news as the third stimulus is becoming a finality. The Dow is currently flat, basically flat for the midday, about 54 points. The NASDAQ is up 61 points. And the big news also is that the NFL, in a statement minutes ago, said that it will delegate all 32 of its NFL stadiums right away for mass vaccination sites. Currently, only 7 NFL stadiums are operating for mass vaccination sites. Let me answer some of your incredible 2,000 questions and comments from yesterday's recording. Wanda Barnes. It don't make a difference when they come up with it if they're not going to get it to the people that need it. Well, it's done now. It's happening. Becky Carson. We need to stop adding to this third stimulus package and get it voted on by the senators. Well, we're not adding to it. Actually, you're not allowed to add to it. The reconciliation has something on the tow hitch. You can't add stuff onto the tow hitch at this point. Mark Madden. Imagine how many these flights these Democrats cost the taxpayers. Bonnie Kell. Blessings for everyone. Thank you, Father in heaven and our Savior in Jesus Christ. Beverly Curry. Mick needs to hit the road to the North Pole and stay out of our way. I love that, Beverly. Thank you, Beverly. Kelly, what day is the vote to be held on the stimulus, or what the hell? Heidi. So we keep on hearing about it. Why are they holding up the vote? They aren't. The vote was done today. Manny Silva. Nobody talking about old people. Raymond Martinez. I'm so thankful. Corrine. Turtles are faster than Congress. Hello. That's hysterical. Brenda. Why is it taking so long to get to the $1,400? Marilyn Gordon. So when are they doing the stimulus checks? Stephanie. Going. Martha, good afternoon, everyone. Let's get this going, Purple Power family. Push, push, push. Amen. Let's push. Wow, where we are. 2,300 in the room and 1,100 likes. Maybe we get to 2,500 in the room and 11 likes. And there you are with a big afternoon's recording on Home LA. I'm so glad you're here. The details from Wall Street is real focus on stimulus. For the first time you've seen in almost about 2 weeks, all the major news reports on Wall Street are finally about stimulus. Finally about stimulus. Over the last 2 weeks, we've had a lot of distractions, other things here and other things there. Now they only are talking about one thing, and that is stimulus. And it's incredible, great news. Let's go over what's in that stimulus package one last time. $1,400 an individual, $2,800 a married couple, $1,400 for children, and $3,200 for adult dependents. If you're on any type of benefits, the same as well for you. $400 of FPUC from January, retro to January, all the way up to the present, up to September, 40-something weeks. UI and PUA is dragged with it. Hey, Kara, there will be EIDL grants. There will be restaurant grants that are brand new. There will be live venue grants that are brand new. There will be a low-income community grant that is brand new. There will be student loan. There will be a college student $1,700 financial aid payment. I missed that one. That was Lori Lopez. That was adorable. Thank you, Lori Lopez. Very kind. There'll be $1,400 paid sick leave. And King Reno, thank you for the dancing pair. And there's Jake Suter. Welcome to the Purple Hawks. Everyone welcome Jake to becoming part of this family. I'm so excited you joined us, Jake. How are you? Are they changing the income requirement? I want to go over this one last time because it's a great question. For some reason, and I sort of know why, but I'm not going to say it on camera. There's some people that like to run the Republicans' narrative a lot and make it sound like it's happening. And so I sort of sense once in a blue moon, there's a viewer that watches those places that repeat the Republican narrative. And they hear that and they're like, oh, it's not going to happen because Mitt said it this way. Let me make clear today what happened today. Every Republican proposal has been shot down. So the Republican proposals to modify the income requirement for the stimulus check, shut down. Not happening. Corey, hey, welcome for becoming Purple Hawk. Joe Biden was specifically asked about the stimulus check. One, he said, I'm not changing the number. Don't ask me again. And you know what? Don't ask me again. I'm just going to say it again. $1,400 stimulus check, $2,800 a married couple, $3,200 adult dependents. And if Mick wants to run his mouth somewhere, let him run his mouth because it's not going to happen. It's done. The law was, the reconciliation was passed. That is that. Mick can say whatever he wants to say to try to run for 2024 president. God bless him. Next, the income level. Joe Biden said, I am open to hearing to take some money off the top for the rich people, a group which I never, ever, ever cover in this channel. I always talk to you about $75,000 or less, you're getting a stimulus check. I never talk to you $100,000, what's your stimulus check? Thank you, King Reno, for the dancing bear. The reason why I don't talk about it is, one, it's not the viewers of this channel, and two, it's too complicated. For people who make over $100,000, they still get a stimulus check. It's just smaller. That's where Joe may trim the money. Other than that, done. Your stimulus check, your first stimulus check, you're getting a second stimulus check. You're getting a third stimulus check. Done. Good night, Irene. There we go. 2,500 people in the room and 1,300 likes. I think we got it. FPUC, the rent aid, that was the big surprise. Rent aid has that delicious surprise that there will be mortgage money as well in there. Mortgage money on top of rent aid, and for low income, middle class, and homeless people as well. Coming up on the 30-minute mark, let me give you the big update where we are on Home LA. Thank you for joining me. 2,500 people in the room and 1,300 likes. Wow, that exceeded our goals. We did a great job. The big update on the midday recording is that your third stimulus package is now a finality. I told you it was. It's a two-step process, and step one was finalized today. The $1,400 stimulus check bill is on a tow hitch behind a tow truck. And today, the tow truck became law. The tow truck passed over the finish line. The reconciliation was called for a vote and was finalized today. It's done. It's now law. Now the tow truck will be pulled over the finish line. Over the next 2 weeks, Nancy Pelosi, who represents the tow truck, will be pulled over the finish line and be finalized. It'll have all the incredible 28 deal provisions, which I've detailed on this channel, and they may get modified. So, yes, pause, dramatic pause. So, yes, get ready. If you have something to say to them, start your hashtag campaigns. If you think that the FPUC should go back further than January 2020, one, get those hashtag campaigns. Hazard pay is in there. If you have something to say about hazard pay, you want hazard pay back to January 2020 instead of hazard pay to 2021, get those campaigns going, because this is the time and place. There are now ready to rock and roll. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also like this video. I'll be back this afternoon on Afternoons LA at 3:30 with Check, followed by Third Stimulus, and finally Chuck. As always, stay informed, stay focused, and stay LA for more.